everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of MSME Masterclass. Today, we welcome Dr. Vishnu Kanhere, a distinguished chartered accountant with over 4 decades of professional expertise in management and finance, and founder of VK Kanhere and Company. Dr. Kanhere holds a PhD in management studies from the prestigious Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, and his career spans a wide spectrum of roles including taxation, audit management and consultancy, and information security. As a trusted advisor in the BFSI sector, Dr. Kanhere has served leading multinationals, corporates, and government entities, contributing significantly to financial planning, valuation, and quality consultancy. He is renowned internationally as a fraud examiner and data privacy expert, integrating academic rigor with hands-on industry experience. Dr. Kanhere's contributions extend beyond practice. He is a respected faculty member at management institutes, a keynote speaker at national and international conferences, and a prolific author with numerous publications. His commitment to standard development includes representing India at the International Organization for Standardization, Geneva. Recognized with prestigious awards such as the Bharatiya Shiromani Purushkar and Fellowship of the Linen Society of London, Dr. Kanhere continues to shape academia and industry as a guiding force on various academic committees and advisory boards. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Vishnu Kanhere. Welcome, sir. We're pleased to have you today with us.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
The topic for today for our audience is digital finance solutions for MSMEs in India. Digital tools for reliable invoicing, billing, or record keeping and compliance with tax laws and stuff.
Okay. See, earlier, the accounting has always been, to tell you the truth, record keeping has always been a challenge, because what happens is accounting and financial management is something which MSMEs especially feel that, it's something not really affordable, and they normally what they do is they engage a part-time accountant who comes maybe once or twice a week and enters all the banking transactions and prepares the accounts and so on. But what really is happening when they do this is that they are not using the accounts for decision making, for day-to-day cash management, for working capital management, and for managing their businesses. Because for that they are using some other data, maybe probably something which they write down in their small notebooks which they have, where they keep track of their sales and their purchases and the due dates and the payments and the collections which they have to make. Then why are you duplicating it by keeping the record? So the record only becomes a post-mortem for the purpose of, I would say, filing tax returns or compliance with GST or for some such other records. Now, instead of doing that, you're smart enough and you can train your own people or probably do it. See, nowadays you have Tally, your Zoho, your QuickBooks. All these are again also pay as per you use, and for a single user the cost is not much, and they are all now enabled. You can access them from anytime, anywhere. You need not access them only from the office. You can access them or from your shop. You can access them wherever you are, even from home or even when you are traveling. And the advantage is that nowadays these solutions actually help you. You just have your bank statement. You can download it. In fact, if you feed them with nowadays they are so smart that if you provide them, of course, you need to have the security measures. If you provide your login credentials, they can directly take your bank statements and enter them, and your accounts are ready. You have to do a little bit setting up, and you have to give it instructions the first time. But once it knows that, okay, this payment is actually for electricity expenses, it recognizes, and wherever such a payment comes again, it will take it directly to electricity expenses. It will take it directly to purchases. It knows that this person is a customer, so it will automatically account for it as realization from sales or customers. So basically, all these. You have even smaller software service providers like your Suvit. There are many of these who provide these tools. And then if you look at Tax Spanner or ClearTax, they provide GST compliance tools. Now, basically, how can you use them? So all of them have cloud-based software to track daily transactions and generate real-time financial insights. So you opt for the cloud-based solution. Don't install them on your systems. Or you can use integrated tools like Zoho. They are Zoho Books or Tally. They are very easy to implement, and you have actually agencies through which if you buy them, they'll implement, and the cost is very little for training you or your staff, whomsoever they want. They charge like what, 500 rupees maybe or 1,000 rupees for a training session, and making them, so you would be kind of entering real time and ensuring smooth reconciliation of transactions. Similarly, if you want to do invoicing, you have actually Razorpay, which also helps you invoicing as well as collecting. You have Razorpay X or you have Invoice Ninja. So all these, they help you create, send, manage invoices, and also ensure accurate billing and collection. So the collection gets linked if you use Razorpay, because Razorpay also helps you in collection. It's a customer collect app, so the money can come in through that. You also have platforms like BillDesk and all. So if you use that, BillDesk especially, it can manage your payables and it can give you a classified analysis of your cash flow and your payables. In fact, it pulls the bills for you. Look at things in platforms like BillDesk. It's going to tell you in advance that, okay, now you have these bills due and they are going to come up. So essentially, even the government has now provided invoicing, but that is for very large enterprises. They have insisted that it's made online, but there are a lot of service providers who help you do that. So by registering on these platforms, basically you can do it, and it's easy for funding also, because the moment you use these online platforms, then you could probably get lending or finance against your unpaid invoices. So, whatever you have invoiced and money is still not coming, something like bill discounting, one would say. Not exactly bill discounting, because here you are not going through the process of bill discounting, but you get some funding against your possible this thing. Now, if you look at tax compliance, what comes to my mind is, yes, you have clear tax, you have other tax filing solutions which are there. So all of these generally are quite easy to implement, and what they do is you have to just, in fact, now with the facilities provided by the government, you can in fact download your data, pre-filled data, it is called, income tax, using that software, and the pre-filled data will actually tell you a draft computation. It will say, look, this is your income as per the tax records, and then you can adjust it and actually end up paying it. Now, in fact, if you have more than 10 crores, then turnover, then e-invoicing has become mandatory. So the government itself has provided free tools. So what should be done is you should start at least with some accounting software which is enabled, and they now are also enabled for filing GST returns. So you should slowly graduate to have an online cloud-based accounting software. They provide good training, and your bank accounting will also get automated. Your purchases, whatever payments you make, would also get automated. I think that is the way to go forward. So accounting will not be an additional burden, a post-mortem exercise. It would be a live thing. I think that should answer your question.
It does. So my next question to you is with regards to, of course, some part of it you've already answered.
Yes.
Just for the sake of understanding for our audience perspective, can you also tell us what about applications and solutions that help manage funds, assist with decision making and budgeting, and also enable compliance at the same time?
Okay, I will give you 3 examples, and all the 3 are quite reputed banks or reputed financial solution providers, I would say. I had already mentioned to you earlier, sometime back, SBI YONO, which also has a cash management program. So what it does is really helps you in not just managing your business, but managing your payments, but it gives you visibility. So look at HDFC Bank, My Business digital banking. That also gives you visibility of your business in terms of what is the funds flowing in, what are the funds going out, what are the payments being incurred on, what are the heads of payment. And the major advantage with these is that these can be they have integrated with the different payment solution providers also. So you can now use it. You have a bank account at one end, you have these various payment app solutions at another, you have the credit or the lending platforms here, and you have the accounting and return filing solutions there. So in fact, they have even tied up with those. So like HDFC offers you this, they offer you a service of filing your tax return. So it therefore they call it My Business Digital Banking. PNB has one. I think PNB has One Biz Mobile Banking. So all the banks are coming up with this. So they improve the efficiency of financial management and they facilitate a smooth single point functioning and control. The only thing to remember here is, because it has such powerful analytical ability and so much information about your business, I mean, that enhanced accessibility and convenience is really good, but it also makes you vulnerable in case it goes into the hands of someone else. So with all this, what happens is you don't have to visit the bank, you don't have to visit the tax office, you don't have to visit the customer, you don't have to visit the supplier, because all is being managed here online and your analysis is also being done. So you don't have to have somebody who comes maintaining your books day to day. Of course, you will need some help from a consultant setting up all this. The second advantage which you really make out of this is your financial transactions get streamlined. So your vendor payments, your bill payments, they become very smooth. You never, earlier you had somebody just doing the bill payments. So that staff gets free. You have somebody only handling the collections. That person gets free. And moment you have integrated solutions like mobile wallets or payment gateways, in fact, customers now can't say, oh, it's difficult to pay you. What will I do? I'll get a check, I'll deposit. Of course, you can still accept checks which will get processed, but this is advantageous. So apart from all this, expense tracking and financial management, access to credit, compliance with GST, all this is available. And this is again secure, because now what they do is they have this two-factor authentication. Most of the banking apps provide that. So you have either your biometrics, which is required to log in, or your password, or also additionally an OTP. So therefore, that is something which is very essential. I would like to elaborate that later, but that is something. And cost efficiency, because if you look at it, UPI payments are practically zero cost. Whereas if you use credit debit cards and set that up, of course, that is an option and you still have to provide that to people who come with that. But what happens there is that you end up paying 2.5% as collection charges, therefore it is something which, and the money comes to you only at the end of the month. So that's a big kind of blocking up of funds, which on these online digital platforms, it doesn't happen. So I would really say that apart from promoting cost efficiency, these apps really support a digital transformation of business, because you are able to be there 24/7, although you are a single person now and handling everything. So all the basic financial management tools are now available to you. So you can become now digitally, financially literate. So that's, I would say, the answer to your extended question. Yeah.
And presence and visibility in the marketplace are key challenges, and we are all aware of that. According to you, how do you think digital tools can help MSMEs?
See, let me tell you, if you look at the website today and you understand what I'm trying to say, how much money does top leading car manufacturers, say today the leading car manufacturers are there in India as well as overseas. So in India, you have Maruti, you have Tata, or you're overseas, like you have Mercedes-Benz and you have the works, all of them, BMW, Audi. So how much do you think they would spend on having showrooms, on advertising, and so on, in physical presence in the marketplace, a huge amount. Can MSMEs match that kind of a physical presence? No. But when you are on the net and online is a big leveler. You have a website, but the access point is a web address. So does the web address cost the same to a large retailer as well as a small MSME? Yes, and it's negligible. So it costs very little to be present visibly in the online marketplace. So social, mobile, and web. These three places you need to build a good presence, and for that you need learn the knowledge of many things like SEO, what is known as the search engine optimization. You can do a lot of things, you can do niche things, because small enterprises are normally creative. But all this comes later. Yes, you have a website, you have a good website which is easily accessible, but you need to take the help of digital marketplaces and e-commerce solutions. Why are these important? Because if you want to expand your reach, you need to register and get onto these marketplaces, because they are already there. Nobody is directly going to search for you. But yes, these marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, people are going to log on to them for looking at whatever they want. Okay, I want a toothbrush, I'll log on to that. If I want a particular type of toothbrush, I want a particular camera, I'm going to log on to that. Why? In fact, even I have a small window, what do you call that? A windowsill garden. So I want a particular flower for it. I'm not going to go looking for nurseries. I'll just search in something like, okay, I want a poinsettia, right? Red colored leaves, that flower. So I look for it. It directly goes on and shows me these are the 3 or 4 people who are providing it, and I can connect, order online, it will get delivered to me, and I make the payment using UPI interface. So yes, these leading online marketplaces can help sell your products as well as your services. Then you have others, online ones, like you have Just Dial, you have many actually. They are just platforms. They don't enable the selling. They just tell you whom to connect with, and they provide contact details. But better if you are on a marketplace, which is an e-commerce solution provider, that would be good. In fact, if you look at Shopify or Wix, there's a difference. Amazon, Flipkart, they don't allow you to create own storefront, but Shopify actually will let you design your page. So that's some kind of an advantage for you. So what do you do really? What should MSMEs do? They can register on these e-commerce platforms. That's the first thing. The moment you first sit down, you have to understand, okay, start listing your products, give detailed product descriptions, give photographs, give prices. It becomes a challenge. What photo should I give? If you look at some of you can surf through Just Dial and this, or when you go on to Google, you will find that the photos are not really attractive sometimes of the shop fronts or whatever of their business location. So you should spend some amount of time in creating this. In fact, you can use professional help also to create, and that will really help you to set up. And then you can integrate with payment gateways, and you can do marketing campaigns also. It doesn't cost much, but it is useful. Now, apart from this, how do you build your brand or presence on the marketplace? So you can use CRM. There are a lot of CRM softwares available, which are again AIs, basically AI based. So if you have a website, in that you can put a chat bot. All these are enhancements which you can do. Or you can put a virtual assistant. Like you have Zendesk or your Drift, which provide chatbots. You can use them onto your website. So it will answer questions for you, customer support, a lot of things. You can even run personalized market campaigns. So use Google Ads. Google Ads is good to use. You have HubSpot also. So all these can do that. Then you have content optimization tools, like you have AI platforms, for example, Persado is one. But again, when I'm doing all this, let me remind you my first answer. You Chat GPT, free basic platform. If you use that, customize the chat, give information to the Chat GPT, and really get from it what role you want. So you may feed in what you have prepared as your ad copy or your marketing content to Chat GPT and say that please optimize this content from the perspective. So you be my marketing consultant. You tell Chat GPT, be my marketing consultant and give me an optimized content from the information which I have given you. I am a MSME, I am doing this, etc. All this information. So moment you do that, you don't have to go to Persado or anybody else to do that. Even your Chat GPT will help you do it. And you will get a reasonably good output. So I think that is what it is. And if you look at again, reaching out to customer, I cannot ignore what the government is doing. So there is a Startup India scheme, there is a digital MSME scheme. You also have GEM. What is GEM? It is the government e-marketplace. See, what the Prime Minister did was, based on the recommendations of the group of secretaries, he really has enabled setting this up. Of course, MSME ministry, I think, has set it up. It's a e-marketplace for different goods and services. And what they have done is that government organizations, departments, PSUs, entities which are supported by the government by way of grants, they are supposed to source goods from this e-marketplace. So you have to use GEM portal. It has become compulsory. There was earlier a Ministry of DGS&D, I think Directorate General of Supplies and that now they have to use this GEM portal. So it's very important to get registered on the GEM portal. Moment you do that, you can take part in e-bidding, reverse e-auction, various things. Private entities also have it. Silently ITC has been doing that in the agricultural sector. So you have e-Chaupal. Now, basically, what is the e-Chaupal model? It provides farmers with access to information about the weather, about crop management, about what are the market prices, what are the agricultural practices, and it links farmers. Basically, you can directly sell to ITC, cutting out the intermediaries. So this is again a very good marketing initiative. So that way, what exactly happened during post-COVID was that now from farm to fork, that is what has been enabled. So in most businesses, intermediaries can be reduced to a great extent if you use these, and then you can build your brand as well as market presence.
Got it.
Sky's the limit.
Got it. So my next question to you is with regards to talent acquisition and retention. As that's another challenge that MSMEs face. How can MSMEs resolve this with digital tools?
Well, again, although there are softwares available which do this, because I'm aware MSMEs cannot afford to tap into recruiters, high-end recruiters to provide them, and having skilled people for working for them is a big challenge. You can't put out a big ad. You can't attract really talented people. At the same time, you're ready to pay them the kind of remuneration which is needed, but people don't come to you. The moment you say, oh, where you are in MIDC somewhere here or there, etc., they say, oh no, I want to work for, everyone wants to work for branded organizations. And so you will have a disparity in the sense that you will have lots of applications which will reach moment they put out an ad. And for a small company, you have a challenge finding people. So what could actually be done is either you can use talent acquisition tools and platforms. So you have things like Workday, or you have things like ADP Workforce or HireView. But my suggestion is this: first, directly don't jump into them. Try out again the basic AI version. So like ChatGPT. It is just one example. You could use any of these. So what you need to do is you just, because it has access to all the information on the net basically, and on all these job portals. So you say that you have this opening, it can help you write a small ad also. It can help you write what you can put up on a job portal. Apart from that, it can also help you shortlist all the applications which come in on the basis of what is the requirement of the job, what is the job specification, what are their skill sets. So it does all that, which otherwise normally a HR consultant would do. This tool will do it. And actually the basic version is, of course, as you are aware, free of cost. In fact, you can even try doing this, that ask ChatGPT to provide a possible, but you have to give great details there. And when there's something you have to be careful about, because you would be sharing the details of your location, of what kind of pay you are ready to offer, what kind of business you do, what kind of job profile is there. If you feed all this into the ChatGPT, it will even give you potential candidates. So it will say, okay, these are some of the candidates who are available. So you can do that, but you have to understand, you have to draw a line somewhere where to use a freeware and how much information to share with a freeware, because ultimately all that information also is your personally identifiable information. So that is going to be a problem. And I think I could take some question on that, because I've pointed out at various places what are the aspects concerning it.
Yeah, right. So despite the benefits of adopting digital finance solutions, there are several challenges, including security concerns of data loss and financial fraud and crimes that deter some of the businesses from adopting digital solutions, right? So now, according to you, what are the most effective security measures for protecting MSMEs' financial data, including cybersecurity issues?
See, the first thing for any business to do is really understand what is the law. So understand what are the regulations which are applicable. So you could have something like, now you have the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which has been passed in India. It has been made applicable. So I want all MSMEs also to understand this. Those who are dealing with overseas customers, they must be aware of GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation, which was in Europe. But something similar to that, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act has now been passed already in India. Similarly, if you are using credit cards, then there is Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, which is also known as PCI DSS in short. So businesses which are implementing or handling payments using credit cards, they should recognize what these laws talk about. So you have to, if you have customers, then you can't reveal their personally identifiable information to the public. So understand applicable regulations. That is the first thing. The second thing is conduct a self-evaluation. Do you have actually any security policy? Have you told your staff the do's and don'ts of how to use your systems? Okay, that don't misuse the systems, protect your systems with a user ID and a password. Always log in and log out if you're leaving your desk. All these are simple things, but they are good practices. So whether you have made such a list, whether you have made yourself aware and your staff aware, and have you implemented them in your organization, then have you understood what are the risks which are there? So it's a simple thing. For example, you have funds parked in 2-3 accounts, maybe. So is the account which is open for digital payments, which is exposed to online, does it always have the minimum required balance, so that your investments or your larger balance is not exposed to online threats? So understand your risks as far as cyber security are concerned, or cyber crime is concerned. And then you should have controls. So you should have authentication, like in your mobile itself, and in on your accounts, do two-factor authentication. It's always important. The bank always asks you, that portal asks you, do you want to set up multi-factor authentication? Most of the time you say, no, I don't want, just I want user ID, password. But no, try and set that up, because that will help improve controls. You have See, it's very necessary because one doesn't know when one would get hacked. And see, 24/7 you cannot be alert. So somewhere in the night you get a phone call saying that from someone ostensibly in the same voice, because now there is a deep fake. So somebody could call you and say that, look, I am in trouble. It could be your spouse's voice, or it could be a brother's voice, or it could be a child's voice. And then you kind of just not stop thinking and do something. You have even must have read about the cases of online digital arrest where people have made huge payments. So although it's very clear that there's nothing like a digital arrest, but at that point of time it feels so very real. So you need to have some proper access controls, then multi-factor authentication. Your passwords needs to be strong. Another thing is, people write down passwords to remember them, or they have it very easy. So it is a combination of your name, your spouse's name. Problem is that your spouse's and children's name are already known to the hackers. They are already on the net. Why are they on the net? Because you put it yourself on the social media, maybe on Facebook, maybe on Insta, somewhere. Even your faces are there. So face recognition also becomes a problem. Everything which is your sensitive personal information gets thrown onto the net, and we only are doing it. Then it becomes very easy for hackers to break in using that information. So moment your mobile number is known to a hacker, is going to put that to the bank. What is the identification? If you forget your password, what does the bank ask? Okay, what is your name? What is your father's name or mother's name? What is your residential address or your office address? Date of birth? All that is already there on the net somehow, because you have done something. Maybe your date of birth you are given when you buy something. Oh, you go to a shoe shop, you buy it. What happens is they tell you what is the date of birth. Why? What are they going to do? No, what they are going to do is probably send you a greeting or an email on that day. But well, is it really necessary to give your date of birth when you're buying a shoe? Oh, they tell you if you give your date of birth, we'll register you for points kind of thing. The point is very negligible in value. You have to be discriminating as far as sharing this data is concerned. Then for very sensitive data, you can use encryption tools. They are available for a very low cost, practically free. But I will tell you, really speaking, what is the minimum which a MSME can do. Train your employees and create awareness in your organization, and you yourself get trained. Understand what is cybersecurity all about. Train yourself and go in for authentic software. There is a price difference buying, what is called as freeware or unregistered, unlicensed software. But the licensed software, if something goes wrong, you have a redressal option. You can complain, make good, because you are using authorized official software. So it helps. You can recover your account also. If you use a paid email account, so always use a paid Google account. You can always recover it. So, and keep getting updates. What happens is we get that alert about update or a patch download, even on our mobiles. What do? Not now. We just ignore it and close that window and go ahead. No, please do it. Find time. You can't do it because you're working. Do it in the evening, but don't forget. Do it. So similarly, data backup, because it's a very big nightmare. You have all this data on your mobile and suddenly it falls in the water. Suddenly you lose it. Something happens to it. It falls from your pocket and it shatters. All these things are nightmares. So you need, earlier what used to happen, I'll tell you the truth myself. I still remember that I have my home number and a spouse's number and children's number I remember. But nowadays, many numbers I don't know. I just have to look at it in the mobile when I dial it. Even very good friends' number I don't know. So that's the importance of data backup, because all this data about your customers, about your financial data, that needs to be backed up very regularly. So you have some cloud solutions. You set it up, automatic backup, it will keep backing up. Similarly, now one more last point I would say is about incident response. See, what happens is, what is the first thing? When some incident happens, you get some threatening call saying that, oh, you have this, or something gets stolen, or your account gets hacked. You try to behave as if nothing has happened, or you try to conceal that incident. That is something which is the worst thing to do. You immediately see, you have nothing to fear or lose. You immediately get in touch with the police. At least ring up on 1930. 1930 is the helpline for reporting cyber crime, or there's a national crime. You just Google it, you will find there's a crime reporting portal. It doesn't take much time. It's a 10 or 15-minute job. You just do it and you report that crime. You will be doing great service to the rest of the society, and you will also be well protected, because tomorrow something goes wrong, your customers loses because of this hacking into your email ID or something, somebody hacked into your computer, the customer paid, or your relative or your friend, whoever got the messages from that email, hacked email, pay up. No, because that basically that person will set up saying that, oh, you need to pay this, you need to pay that. You may be responsible. Why did you not report it? If you have reported it, then you are not responsible, because it's their job now to block the account, etc., whatever it is. Now, for larger MSMEs, what they need to do is, there are people who are system auditors. So you need to get regular security, information security or system audit done. So they'll come once a year and check your systems. They will even provide you security solutions. So, or something like monitoring equipment, which can monitor whether your network is clear, nobody has hacked into your account, and so on. So there are some automated tools. You can, if you feel, consult these experts, and by following these three strategies, having a robust framework of policies, employee training, and having good access control. These three things, and updating your software, and putting a good antivirus solution, all these will actually enable you to kind of protect your and keep your finances as well as your computers and laptops and mobile phones secure. So it will protect you from these frauds and crimes. Right.
So my last question for today's session to you is, do you think SMEs and MSMEs can scale up to the next level? And if yes, what about the transformation to sustainability?
That's a good question, a most difficult one at that. But let me tell you one thing. MSMEs have to maintain their niche areas of competence, which are being creative, trying to provide solutions which are unique and which are at the same time low cost. See, what is the advantage? Whatever are the disadvantage of or challenges faced by MSMEs are also their advantages. They don't have to spend huge monies on a marketing budget. See, if you look at large products, nearly 30% goes on marketing and distribution, 30% of the cost of the product. Similarly, huge advertising budgets, these have to be ultimately supported by the selling price, so they make the products costlier. So providing value for money is the first thing which MSMEs should concentrate on, and being there 24/7 in the market. Otherwise, what happens is, when at night you're not selling, early in the morning you're not selling, you're only selling in a window of 12 to 6 or 12 to 8. That doesn't work now. So you really need to make use of some of these digital initiatives which I mentioned to you, especially in the area of finance, in the area of marketing, in the area of HR, in the area of supply chain, even in the area of documentation. And finally, if you put all these digital tools together, then you can make a data-driven decision making. So ultimately, what are the really key success factors of a business? Good leadership, good strategy, and implementing that strategy to transform your vision and mission into objectives which can really be realized. So using these digital tools, using AI, basically what they are doing is they are force multipliers. So they expand your reach, they expand your abilities of your staff manifold. So although you have 3 or 4 people working in your organization, it is as if you have a huge workforce. I'll go back to an example, because a chartered accountant, I had something which struck me. See, Whether you got a tax notice or not, you don't have to bother by logging into your portal every day, although you ultimately may have to. But you get a very small, low cost tool. What does it do? It accesses your portal quietly, your tax portal and your GST portal and all your compliance portals, and it gives you that these are the compliances due, these are the notices which have come to you. So you don't have to actively do something, it comes to you. And using these kind of smart tools is something which will transform your MSMEs into the next world. Because what is happening here is you have mass customization available now. Remember this. No, the days of mass production are gone. Now mass customization. So you can use that and your cloud and online, and so you pay as you use. That is something which probably will help you implement this. But go ahead and start using them howsoever in a small way. That is how you can transform and become sustainable. Right. Thank you.
With that, we've come to the end of today's masterclass episode. Thank you so much, Dr. Kanhere, for sharing invaluable insights on digital solutions, tools, and tactics. Your information, your insights, your references, examples, everything will for sure help our attendees gain a lot of knowledge on this topic, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I'm really happy to share this. And what I feel is at least a few things, like register yourself on a lending portal, get your Udyam registration, like these few things. If people do, then I'll be satisfied with what I've shared. Right.
Definitely.
Thank you.
For our attendees who are online, if you've missed any part of today's episode, or if you'd like to see the current episode or any of the previously shot episodes, please go on YouTube, type GSW1 MSME, and you'll find all the episodes uploaded there. Thank you once again, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you.